Guys, has anybody ever told you, I love you to the moon and back? I want to show you what that really means. First, let's look at the average distance to the moon. If we look up how many kilometers away is the moon, it says 384,400 kilometers. So that's the average distance to the moon. And then if we come back, that's going to be another 384,400 kilometers. So if we add the two together, we get 768,800 kilometers. And that is the average distance to the moon and back. This looks important, so let's put a box around it. Next, I want to look at the average hiking speed. If we look it up, it says for beginners, it's between 1.6 and 3.2 kilometers per hour. Let's go with the higher end of a beginner, so that'll be 3.2 kilometers per hour. So now if we treat hiking like a full-time job, that's going to be 8 hours a day. So that means that the average distance hiking in a day is going to be 3.2 times 8 kilometers. And 3.2 times 8 is 25.6. So the average distance hiking in a day is 25.6 kilometers. Next, let's look at the average distance hiking in a year. If we take that 25.6 and multiply it by 365.25, that will give us our average distance hiking in a year. And that ends up being 9,350.4 kilometers. Next, let's look at an average lifetime. If we look up average human lifespan, it says the average life expectancy at birth is 82.2 years. Let's use 82.2 years for the average lifetime. So if we want to find the average distance hiking in a lifetime, we would do 9,350.4 times 82.2. And that'll give us 768,602.88 kilometers. And that looks important, so let's put a box around it. Now let's move this up here and compare the two distances. The average distance to the moon and back is 768,800 kilometers. And the average distance hiking in a lifetime is 768,602.88 kilometers. These are within 200 kilometers of each other. That would be less than 8 days. So when someone says, I love you to the moon and back, that means they love you full time for their entire life. How exciting.